Good evening. So today we'll discuss day 22, and the first question is patterns of culture. Patterns of culture, that means that every culture has a pattern. Or you can say, in one sense, it is saying that every culture has a unique pattern, right? So unique pattern, this is from somewhere. Who propounded cultural relativism? Frank Boas, who says that every culture is unique, right? Every culture is unique, right? So ये वहां से आया है कहीं ना कहीं. किसने दिया ये जो पैटर्न ऑफ कल्चर के बारे में बात की? किसने सबसे पहले? बातें पैटर्न ऑफ कल्चर के बारे में पहले से होती आई थी, लेकिन ये जो बात कही पैटर्न्स ऑफ कल्चर, दिस इज द नेम of a book written by Ruth Benedict. Ruth Benedict, who was the student of Frank Boas, who was the proponent of culture personality school or culture personality theory. She said that there exists a pattern of each culture. Right? That means every culture is configured around some aspects. अब वो configuration क्यों होता है, वो pattern क्यों होता है? वो कहती हैं there are some psychological tendencies present in the group, right? जिस culture के जो लोग हैं उनके अंदर कुछ central, कुछ common tendencies हैं. वो common tendencies क्या करते हैं? उस कल्चर के जो सारे एलिमेंट्स हैं उनको इंटीग्रेट करके एक पैटर्न बनाती हैं. वो एलिमेंट्स कौन कौन से होते हैं? वो एलिमेंट्स होते हैं कल्चर ट्रेट, जो कि सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट है. अब बहुत सारे कल्चर ट्रेट मिलके एक कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाते हैं, कल्चर कॉम्प्लेक्स, राइट? और ये बहुत सारे कल्चर कॉम्प्लेक्सेस जिसके अंदर बहुत सारे कल्चर ट्रेट्स हैं, ये मिलके एक कल्चर को पैटर्न देते हैं, राइट? सो बेसिकली पैटर्न क्या है? इन सब का एक अरेंजमेंट, राइट? और ये जो सारा अरेंजमेंट एक एरिया पे होता है, एक जगह पे होता है, सो एक कल्चर एरिया. तो ये तीन चार कॉन्सेप्ट जो हैं ये रुथ बेनेडिक्ट ने बात की थी 1934 में. शी रोट दिस बुक पैटर्न्स ऑफ कल्चर. ठीक है, तो आपको ये बात समझ में आ गई व्हाट शी सेज. देखो, पैटर्न ऑफ कल्चर, ये बातें कि हर कल्चर का एक पैटर्न है, ये बातें रुथ बेनेडिक्ट से पहले भी होती थी. बट व्हाट रुथ बेनेडिक्ट डिड, दैट शी सेज दैट पैटर्न इज ड्यू टू स्पेशल जीनियस. What is special genius according to her? The common centralizing psychological tendencies found in that culture, that group. उन लोगों के अंदर जो पाई जाती हैं, उनकी पर्सनैलिटी में जो पाई जाती हैं, वो जो चीजें होती हैं वो इंटीग्रेट करवाती हैं इन सारे को, सारे कल्चरल ट्रेड्स कॉम्प्लेक्सेस को एक पैटर्न में, एक अरेंजमेंट में. सो दैट इज पैटर्न ऑफ कल्चर. दिस इज द वर्क ऑन पैटर्न ऑफ कल्चर. अब ये चीज ही समझने के लिए, अब इसको लिखोगे कैसे, उसके लिए अलग अरेंजमेंट है, राइट? उसका एक अलग पैटर्न है. सो ये आपको समझ में आ गया कि पैटर्न ऑफ कल्चर है क्या. एक बुक लिखी थी 1934 में रुथ बेनेडिक्ट ने. उन्होंने कहा कि हर कल्चर का एक पैटर्न होता है. वो पैटर्न क्यों होता है? क्यों? क्योंकि साइकोलॉजिकल टेंडेंसी जो हैं, जो कि सब में कॉमन होती हैं, कॉमन साइकोलॉजिकल टेंडेंसी, और उन कॉमन साइकोलॉजिकल टेंडेंसीज, सेंट्रल टेंडेंसीज को इन्होंने बोला स्पेशल जीनियस। तो बोला ये स्पेशल जीनियस है, ये अरेंजमेंट करवाता है, ठीक है। और अरेंजमेंट किन चीजों का होता है? कल्चर ट्रेट, कल्चर कॉम्प्लेक्सेस, एंड दैट their particular arrangement give rise to a particular pattern of culture, ठीक है। ये बात समझ में आ गई। तो सबसे पहले हम इसके लिखेंगे that the theory of pattern of culture, theory of pattern of culture was first propounded by Ruth Benedict in her book Patterns of Culture 1934, where she emphasized that every culture has a unique pattern okay her argument that every culture has a unique pattern was instrumental in promoting the Boasian idea of cultural relativism throughout the world, right? Then हर एक थ्योरी कुछ ना कुछ से तो इन्फ्लुएंस होती है, तो ये भी इन्फ्लुएंस थी, right? So influences. So the first one and the most important influence on Ruth Benedict was of Franz Boas, right? Boas and his approach of cultural relativism, okay. Then not only this, she says that culture is an integrated whole, यही बोल रही है ना, that integration of various elements of culture, that is culture trait or complexes. So यहाँ पे किसका इन्फ्लुएंस दिखेगा? फंक्शनल इंटीग्रेशनिस्ट, मतलब फंक्शनलिस्ट का भी इन्फ्लुएंस है यहाँ पे. So she was inspired by functionalist idea of integrationist whole. That culture is a whole, जो कि कंपोनेंट पार्ट से मिलके बना है. यही कहते थे फंक्शनलिस्ट भी. आर यू अवेयर ऑफ द आइडिया ऑफ फंक्शनलिस्ट? फंक्शनलिस्ट बोलते थे दैट इट इज द इंटीग्रेटेड होल. ओके, then she was also influenced by psychological approach, right? So ये तीनों उनके इन्फ्लुएंस थे when she gave the theory of pattern of culture. So her argument or her premises of her theory were that every culture is unique. Every culture is unique, and each culture is an integrated and functional whole. culture is made up of constituent units. Culture is made up of constituent units which are arranged or configured in a unique style the integration in the constituent units is brought about by common tendencies in the personality of the people, by the common tendencies in the personality of people, which she called spatial genius. Right. She further on says that culture is personality writ large. Culture is personality writ large, which means if you throw the individual personality, or if you zoom in the individual personality on the large screen, you will find culture, right? So it is the personality writ large. She says that culture is analogous to human beings, which is more or less consistent in thought and action, which is more or less consistent in thought and action. So on the basis of the spatial genius, she identified two culture patterns. One is Apollonian and the other is Dionysian. Apollonian and other is Dionysian. Apollonian is named after Greek god Apollo, right, which is peaceful sun deity, sun, right, and such personality is found in Juni, Pueblo Indians. Dionysius is the god of luxury, drinking. So such personality is found in Dobu. Right? So Juni are peace-loving, cooperative, helpful, and never quarrelsome. Right? The personality type of Apollonian is peace-loving, cooperative, helpful, kind, never quarrelsome, whereas that of Dobu is full of conflict, competition, combat, violence, right, deceiving, frenzy, excess. Then what methodology she used in giving her theory? So she used extensive field work through participant observation. She used psychological approach. Then every theory have some flaws, so you can criticize her. So the first criticism was from Maurice Opler, who says that there are themes, not patterns. There are cultural themes. Okay. Then the second criticism you can write that she gave only two personality types. She gave only two personality types. Right? Finally, you can write conclusion. Okay, in conclusion, you can say that her approach, that every culture is unique. Every culture has a unique pattern, was very instrumental in spreading the idea of cultural relativism across the world. Okay, so I think you can write this. You can draw that diagram, or you can simply write the diagram. You can write this is a culture, it has a pattern. So in that these are cultural traits. These are arranged into the cultural complexes. Right. So these are making up a particular pattern. Okay. These are making up a particular pattern. Okay. So this is the pattern of a culture. ये डायग्राम आप ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, राइट. सो इन द इंट्रोडक्शन यू विल राइट दैट पैटर्न्स ऑफ कल्चर, this is a theory, right, and which was given by Ruth Benedict in her book Patterns of Culture, which she wrote in 1934, in which she says that there exists a particular pattern of a culture, right, and every culture has a unique pattern. So here you can see the influence of Frank Boas, right. She was a student of Frank Boas. Frank Boas propounded the idea of cultural relativism, right. So influence of Frank Boas. Not only this, she says that every culture has a pattern, and this pattern is a result of what? Integration of various constituent units, right, and this integration of these constituent units in a particular pattern is brought about by some common psychological conditions, right, some common psychological traits which she called special genius. कि हर एक कल्चर में कुछ ऐसे साइकोलॉजिकल ट्रेट्स होते हैं जो कि जो कल्चर के जो पार्ट्स हैं, जो कंपोनेंट्स हैं, उनमें इंटीग्रेशन करवाते हैं. ठीक है. सो वो इंटीग्रेशन, वो पैटर्न किसके कारण आ रहा है? उन साइकोलॉजिकल कंडीशन का कारण आ रहा है, राइट. सो दिस इंटीग्रेशनिस्ट व्यू, it shows that she was influenced by functionalist ideas, right. So she was influenced by Frank Boas, she was influenced by functionalists, and finally when she says that there exists a special genius, some common psychological conditions, so here it shows that she was influenced by द साइकोलॉजिकल अप्रोच एज वेल, राइट। सो इन तीनों का इन्फ्लुएंस था इन पे। समझ में आ गया? किसी भी थ्योरी को लिखते हो, एक थ्योरी को लिखने में उसका एक पैटर्न है। यू विल राइट इंट्रोडक्शन, देन यू विल राइट फ्रॉम वेयर इट वाज इन्फ्लुएंस्ड, you will write some basic premises of every theory, right? So what were the theories, this premises I have given you, that every culture is unique, है ना, वो उन्होंने मान के चला कि every culture is unique, every culture is an integrated and functional whole, right? How functional whole or integrated whole? Because it is made up of component parts. What are those parts? Cultural traits, this is cultural complex, and there exists a pattern. This is a unique pattern, right? This is a pattern, or you can say this pattern you will see on a particular cultural area also, right? So you can also press your idea of cultural area also here, right? कहाँ पे होगा ये pattern? एक territory पे होगा. So there is a cultural area where there are arrangement or configuration of traits. मैंने डायग्राम अपनी बुक में दिया हुआ है आपको ये, ठीक है, वहां पे मिल जाएगा अपनी जो थ्योरीज की बुक में, राइट। सो प्रीमाइसेस में क्या क्या हो गया? एवरी कल्चर इज यूनिक, एवरी कल्चर इज इंटीग्रेटेड एंड फंक्शनल होल, एवरी कल्चर इज मेड अप ऑफ some constituent units which are arranged and configured in a unique fashion, right? And the integration in these units is brought about by common tendencies in the personality of the people, which she says special genius, right? Integration कौन करवा रहा है? Personality में जो traits हैं, right? And she goes on to say that culture, क्या है culture? Is the personality writ large. That means if you zoom out my personality on a wide screen, you will see my culture, right? And on the basis of those psychological tendencies, she divided the culture patterns into two types, Apollonian and Dionysian. Dionysus is the luxury or drinking god, and Apollo is the peaceful sun deity, right? So in this way she classified the personalities into two types. One is frenzy, excess, conflict, either peace, love, etc., right? And finally she gave examples Juni and Dobu. Then her theory was criticized by Maurice Opler, who says that no, there are no patterns, rather there are themes. Every culture has a unique theme, not pattern. उस theme के around वो arranged है. दूसरा है that she gave only two personality types. दो की बात करी, उसके बाद उन्होंने कोई बात नहीं करी. But despite of all criticisms, her theory was very instrumental in spreading the idea of cultural relativism throughout the world. So I believe this will be a very good answer. अगर आप इतना लिख दोगे, you won't feel any difficulty, right? Next, second question is, मैं इसमें इसलिए रुका हुआ हूँ, most of the students do not get an idea how to write it in 10 marker, है ना? And even before Ruth Benedict, there was the idea of that there exists a pattern of culture, but she was unique in giving a theory. She was unique in including the psychological angle, है ना? Central tendencies, common tendencies वाली बात करी, special genius वाली बात करी. Okay, so second question is society and culture, 10 marker. See, by just looking at this question, you will start writing like एक साइड में society लिख देते हैं, एक साइड में culture लिख देते हैं, but तीसरे पॉइंट के बाद आपके पास कुछ नहीं होता है ना? यही होता है, या फिर आप unnecessarily stretch in करोगे कुछ पॉइंट्स को, then कोई ऐसा स्कॉलर का आइडिया आप दोगे नहीं, है ना? तो आप जीएस का तो आंसर लिख नहीं रहे हो, कुछ तो आपको और एक्स्ट्रा देना पड़ेगा. So how will you write? So the safest approach to write this is to understand what the concept is all about. So what is society? according to McIver and Page, what is society? It is the web of social relations, right? McIver and Page says that it is a web of social relationships which is always changing, right? And what is culture? Culture, according to E.B. Tylor, E.B. Tylor defined culture and civilization together. उन्होंने civilization और culture में differentiate नहीं किया था. Okay, so in his words, culture or civilization, taken in its widest ethnographic sense, is that complex whole है, which includes or which comprise of or which include knowledge, belief, art, moral, law, custom and any other capability or habit acquired by men as a member of society. इस definition को आप verbatim याद कर लो, जितनी बार भी याद करना है इसको लिख लेना, because you can use this definition n number of times within the same paper. No one will going to question you, right? This is one of the best and most comprehensive definition of culture, right? दूसरा भी कर सकते हो, जो कि मालिनोव्स्की बोलते हैं, कि it is instrumental reality, right? Culture as an instrumental reality or apparatus for the satisfaction of biological and derived needs of men. Okay. Now, after writing this, you know that you have defined it. What will you write? You can just write that how anthropologists see society and culture. Okay. So first and foremost, Malinowski says, right? You can say culture and society are interrelated things, right? And anthropologists try to see both of these aspects of human behavior through various views. And the first view was of Malinowski, you can quote, culture is all embracing including society. That means Malinowski says, according to Malinowski, culture is all embracing. That means culture के अंदर ही society आ जाता है, right? If this is culture, so इसके अंदर ही जो आ रहा है, that is society. Radcliffe Brown, Evans Pritchard, Leach and most of British anthropologists, they dichotomized society and culture, right? They dichotomized society and culture. They कहते हैं no, both are separate entities. They are not one and the same. Okay? They are not one and the same. What has been propounded by Professor Malinowski is not, it's not a good idea, it's not a correct perspective, right? Then later on, Levi-Strauss, then up R.C. Brown, Pritchard, etc. You can talk about them. Third, then you will say what Levi-Strauss say. Levi-Strauss say that society and culture are two aspects of social realities viewed from different dimensions. मतलब ये दो एस्पेक्ट हैं सोशल रियलिटीज के जो कि अलग अलग डायमेंशन से देखे जा रहे हैं, राइट? Levi-Strauss बोलते हैं that society appeared before culture, right? According to him, society appeared before culture, according to Levi-Strauss. अब क्रोबर क्या बोलते हैं? क्रोबर was a diffusionist. क्रोबर का स्टेटमेंट बहुत अच्छा है. Kroeber says that society do exist without the culture, क्योंकि आप other animals में भी society देखते हो. And what is unique about human society is the presence of this culture, right? So what Kroeber says, that it is the culture that makes human society unique, right? Then he says that no society, no culture, no culture, no society. उनका ये ट्रूइज्म था. He says no society, no culture, no culture, no society. Kroeber बोलते हैं, Alfred Kroeber, right? You write it or you do not write it, but you have to write that what makes our society unique is the culture, right? He says, बताओ कैसे होगा? बेसिकली इनसेपरेबल है. हमारे जो कल्चर में ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट ह्यूमन सोसाइटी, बोथ आर, ठीक है. Leslie White gave a symbolic view, right? He says that it is the use of symbols which form the culture, right? And it is the culture which makes human society separate from other animals, right? So Leslie White, you might have heard about Leslie White that he was a neo-evolutionist. Not only this, he had the symbolic view also about the society and culture. So what L.D. White says? L.D. White says that we humans use symbols, and this use of symbols, his symbolic view, and this symbol constitutes culture, and it is this culture that makes human society separate from other एनिमल सोसाइटीज, राइट? बट अब ये सारी बातें आपके पास बहुत सारी ओपिनियन हो गया. व्हाट इज सोसाइटी एंड व्हाट इज कल्चर, व्हाट इज देयर रिलेशनशिप, यू हैव टोल्ड थ्रू द अकाउंट ऑफ एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट. फाइनली यू नीड टू प्रोवाइड अ कंक्लूजन. सो द कंक्लूजन यू कैन ड्रॉ फ्रॉम रेडफील्डियंस, राइट? रॉबर्ट रेडफील्ड एंड हिज फॉलोअर्स. सो व्हाट रॉबर्ट रेडफील्ड सेज, Robert Redfield and his followers says that society and culture are synonyms, interrelated and inseparable, right? What he says and his followers says that both culture and society are synonyms in general sense. They are interrelated and inseparable, right? So primarily there are three views. One, that was of Malinowski. Two, that was of Radcliffe Brown, Evans Pritchard, right? Even Leach, or you can say Kroeber and all, which says no, both are separate. Kroeber and Leslie White. And then finally there is a view that both are synonyms, both are inseparable, right? So you can write now. I think that will be a very enriched answer for you, right? Okay. Next, what is social structure? Next question is, see, it seems that this chapter that you are studying, it is of that culture, society and all, है ना? यहाँ पे सारी theories पढ़ा रहा हूँ मैं आप लोगों को. If you do not understand theories, you cannot write these answers. I'm telling you. Even this social structure, you know, this structure itself, this word itself is basically from some thought. इस society का structure है, that is basically from somewhere. Some thinkers say this, isn't it? Structuralists, structural functionalists, they argue that there is a culture, there is a structure of society. So the term social structure was first time coined by Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer coined this term social structure, right? After हर्बर्ट स्पेंसर, हिज क्रिटिक, जो इनका सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्रिटिक था, एमिल दुर्खाइम, right? Although he criticized his evolutionary approach, you know that Herbert Spencer was social Darwinist, right? He was a evolutionist, and Emil Durkheim criticized him for his that thinking, but he took over that idea. He basically borrowed that idea of social morphology. Social morphology means social structure, right? He borrowed that idea from him, and he says that yes, there is a structure of society which is made up of interrelated and integrated component parts. Like a biological organism, there exists a social morphology of the society. जैसे बायोलॉजिकल ऑर्गेनिज्म की एक मॉर्फोलॉजी होती है, वैसे सोसाइटी की एक सोशल मॉर्फोलॉजी होती है. दिस आइडिया वाज गिवन बाय एमिल दुर्खाइम, राइट? दुर्खाइम के बाद में रेडक्लिफ ब्राउन आते हैं. रेडक्लिफ ब्राउन बोलते हैं दैट सोशल स्ट्रक्चर इज ए रियलिटी. सोशल स्ट्रक्चर इज ए रियलिटी. और सोशल स्ट्रक्चर है क्या? सोशल स्ट्रक्चर कंपोज्ड ऑफ द persons in the institutionalized roles in a society. ठीक है? अरेंजमेंट ऑफ पर्सन्स. देखो उन्होंने दो चीज की बात की थी, इंडिविजुअल और पर्सन. इंडिविजुअल मीन्स बायोलॉजिकल बीइंग और पर्सन मीन्स सोशल बीइंग, राइट? सो उन्होंने क्या बोला? इट इज व्हाट इज सोशल स्ट्रक्चर? इट इज अ सोशल रियलिटी एंड विच कंसिस्ट ऑफ persons in the institutionalized roles. ठीक है? arrangement of persons in institutionalized roles is social structure. अब उन्होंने ये बोला, जैसे एक ऑर्गेनिज्म होता है, ऑर्गेनिज्म तो चाहे वो जिंदा हो या मरा हुआ हो, उसका तो स्ट्रक्चर होता है. बट सोसाइटी एज लॉन्ग एज इट इज फंक्शनिंग, इट हैज ए, वी कैन सी इट्स स्ट्रक्चर, वी कैन ऑब्जर्व इट्स स्ट्रक्चर, right? It's an empirical reality according to him. Then after Radcliffe Brown भी एमिल दुर्खाइम से इंस्पायर्ड थे, राइट? स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनलिस्ट थे. इनके बाद में लेवी स्ट्रॉस आते हैं. What Levi Strauss says, that whatever you see outside, this social structure is basically the surface manifestation of unconscious human thought, right? Subconscious और unconscious. Unconscious में जो हमारा human thought है, उसका surface manifestation है, right? And you know that our human thought is arranged in or patterned in binary, hot cold, white black. ठीक है? तो इनका आइडिया ये वाला था लेवी स्ट्रॉस का. सो ये बेसिकली रियलिटी, एम्पिरिकल रियलिटी से ये एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पे ले गए. ही सेज दैट लेवी स्ट्रॉस डिफरेंशिएटेड बिटवीन टू थिंग्स. He differentiated between social structure and social relations. He says that social relations जो हैं, जो कि society में relations हैं, this is empirical reality. This is raw data of empirical experience, and on the basis of this raw data, anthropologists construct a model which is social structure, right? That was his idea. And what is social structure? कहां से बना रहा है? ये जो दिमाग में है, right? अनकॉन्शियस में है, वहां से हम social structure को derive करते हैं, right? Then after him, even Evans Pritchard, he also was a follower of Radcliffe Brown, right? He was also a structural functionalist, right? He also says that social structure means relation between groups, not individuals, what Radcliffe Brown says. It is the relationship between groups which have a high degree of consistency and constancy. That means according to him, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, structure thrives, structure endures, right? This endurance वाली बात तो even Radcliffe Brown also said. Radcliffe Brown ने भी इस चीज को मना नहीं किया था कि कल्चर स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो एंड्योर करता है, रहता है, right? So that was the view given by many thinkers, but the concept of social structure, right, it was basically discussed among the structuralist thinkers, right, and there have been many opinions about the concept of social structure, right? So finding out social structure, is it a good exercise? Instead of that, we must understand what it consists of, the components of it, and what are the areas of change, right? Change aspect को हमें ज़्यादा समझना चाहिए, right? So हमारा focus जो है सिर्फ definition पे होता है, आजकल definition पे focus नहीं हो रहा है. We try to understand other ways of change, ठीक है, in the society. तो आप ये सारे opinions आप इनमें दे देंगे and you will conclude it. ठीक है, सिर्फ definition पे focus करना, क्योंकि it was the argument of structuralists to study social structure, and structuralist ideas were already refuted by many others, right? चाहे तो वो materialists हो जाए, चाहे वो symbolic anthropologists हो जाए, चाहे वो cognitive anthropologists, right? According to Alfred Kroeber, there are two types of components, eidos and ethos. Eidos is outward that experience, and ethos is insider view, right? Eidos and ethos. Okay. Functionalists argue, third line में, that culture is integrated, right? And this integration can be seen in cultural traits which make up cultural trait. These cultural traits will make up a cultural complex, and if there are many cultural complexes, they will make pattern of culture. Okay, after writing this, you can say generally you will write some components. After writing this, you can write some components of culture. Basically इतना देने के बाद examiner will have a gross idea that you know the basics, you understand that there are components, and components are of various types, right? सब आप components के बारे में लिखोगे, क्या क्या components लिख सकते हो आप? You can write about cultural traits, right? Cultural traits can be values, customs, right? Okay, values, customs, mores, folktales, religion, जो भी सब चीजें हैं वो traits हैं, right? And these traits, they combine to make a particular complex, cultural complex. ठीक है? You can say, caste system is a complex, right? And then you can write pattern, right? These complexes will combine together to give you a pattern, right? So North Indian cultural pattern, South Indian cultural pattern, you can say, or you can say Indian cultural pattern, ओके, एंड दिस पैटर्न यू विल फाइंड, ये कहीं हवा में तो होगा नहीं, ये किसी एरिया पे होगा. दिस कल्चरल पैटर्न यू विल फाइंड इन ए कल्चरल एरिया. ठीक है, so this you can say these are the components of culture which are vast, varied and they vary from place to place. यहां पे आपको कल्चरल रिलेटिविज्म वापस से ला देना है, that जो components हैं they vary, right? The values, the norms, the customs, they vary from place to place, and the arrangement of these components gives a unique pattern, right, which vary from place to place. ये वाली चीज आप कर देंगे, right? हो जाएगा आपसे ये वाला क्वेश्चन. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Next question is 2A. Is culture unique to human beings? Discuss. See, just now you have heard two things. One was the opinion of Alfred Kroeber and the other was that of Leslie White, right? Both says that our society is unique because we have culture. So they says this. Is culture unique to human beings? Yes, it is. How you can say this? Who says this? So this argument was from Leslie White, right? Because he says that man alone is the creator of culture, right? Leslie White in his book Evolution of Culture have discussed 5 characteristics of man due to which development or creation of culture was possible, right? So yes, according to Leslie White, right, he says that other animals may have societies such as bees, such as chimpanzees, monkeys. They have societies, but what they lack culture, right? And man alone has culture because of 5 characteristics. What are those characteristics? First one is bipedalism, right? Bipedalism, which freed the hands, right? Which freed the hands, and these hands were used for tool making, right? Second is free opposable thumb, right? Erect posture, free opposable thumb, which gives us precision grip. This pen grip is because of this thumb, right? Other animals, although you can say that yes, chimpanzees use stick to take out termites from the mound, but they cannot make tools, stone tools or iron tools or anything that you can say. They cannot write in this precision the way we are writing. Okay, so we have freely opposable thumb. Third is stereoscopic and chromatic vision. We have stereoscopic vision and we have colored vision, which gives us the experience of depth, right? This capacity is lacking in most of the other animals. We have the most important thing, this is the intelligent brain. 1400 cc का इंजन है हमारे पास, बहुत तेज भागता है, right? आजकल तो जो नॉर्मल गाड़ियां हैं वो भी 1400 सीसी का नहीं रखती हैं, है ना? बाइक्स तो 250-300 तक होती हैं, बट इवन कार्स, दिस स्विफ्ट हैज 1000 सीसी, है ना? ठीक है. Then the most important after that, creation of symbols, right? According to Leslie White, this is the exchange of ideas using symbols. बाहर चल के मिलते हैं, है ना, तुमने एक बार आंख से कर दिया, बाहर चल के मिलते हैं, देन इट इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल दैट ओके बाहर चल के मिलते हैं, है ना। तो क्रिएशन ऑफ सिंबल्स क्रिएट कल्चर, राइट। सो ये कल्चर जो है हमारे अंदर यूनिक है, ठीक है। सो सिंबल, लैंग्वेज, राइट, एंड द एक्सचेंज ऑफ आइडियाज यूजिंग सिंबल्स, इट इज द बेसिस ऑफ कल्चर, राइट। तो ये क्वेश्चन बेसिकली लेस्ली वाइट का ही है, हमारा नहीं है, और उन्हीं की बुक से ये लाइन उठाई गई है, राइट, और हम आपको उन्हीं की लाइन ही बता रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो ये ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ऑल दीज ट्रेट्स वी कैन से यस कल्चर इज यूनिक टू ह्यूमंस, अदर एनिमल्स मे हैव द सोसाइटीज बट दे डू नॉट हैव कल्चर। अरे next is cultural relativism and subsequent violation of human rights. Okay, cultural relativism and subsequent violation of human rights. Basically it wants to know that is the idea of cultural relativism which says that every culture is unique and their cultural practices are also valid, कैसी भी हो, so is it free from all criticisms? No. Cultural relativism says that no culture is superior and no culture is inferior, every culture is unique, right. There should be no discrimination on the basis of culture or cultural practices, right. There should be no discrimination on the basis of types of marriages, types of food habits, clothing habits, or anything. So cultural relativism was against ethnocentrism, right. It was against the idea of classical evolutionists who says that Victorian society is the epitome of development, right. And this approach of cultural relativism was very, very important in anthropological research because it gives objectivity and holism to anthropological research. It counters racism, ethnic violence, and it promotes tolerance and peace in the society, right. I have given you in the writing, everything is given, most of the things, right. So what can be the criticisms of cultural relativism? So the idea of cultural relativism is criticized on many accounts because if you say that every culture is unique and the practices are equally valid, then the Holocaust by Nazis against Jews was also valid. Headhunting practices in Naga was also valid. Witch hunting is also valid. Wearing iron shoes in China is also valid. Female genital mutilation in Vora community is also valid, right. That breast burning in some African communities of young girls is also valid, right. Non-granting the sexual rights to LGBT is also valid, right. Not allowing abortion in some countries is also valid. So these are some criticisms of cultural relativism, right. So there exists a debate on cultural relativism and moral relativism between Ruth Benedict and Clyde Kluckhohn. Clyde Kluckhohn says that there exists some universal human rights, right. And yes, naturally there are some universal human rights. We cannot validate cannibalism or slavery or Nazism, right. So finally you can say that cultural relativism is valid and it is an important instrument for promoting peace and tolerance in the world, right? But also at the same time there exists some universal human rights which needs to be protected. So there need a balance, there is a need of balance between the two, right? कोई against नहीं है वैसे, that has been settled. Okay, next question is distinguish between culture and civilization. Distinguish between culture and civilization. What is culture? Taken in its wide ethnographic sense, it is that complex whole which includes knowledge, art, belief, morals and values and other capabilities acquired by men, capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society, right? Okay. So here if you say that culture or civilization बोल रहे हैं E.B. Tylor, he is not differentiating between culture or civilization, right? Classical evolutionist says that other classical evolutionists that civilization is a progressed form of culture. Diffusionist says that civilization is the developed stage of mankind in history. Historian says that civilization is the beginning of history because civilization is characterized by writing. Historian says civilization as the beginning of history because from हिस्ट्री कहाँ से शुरू होती है? जब से राइटिंग शुरू हुई है ना? तो सिविलाइजेशन का इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है राइटिंग. बिना राइटिंग के देयर इज नो सिविलाइजेशन, राइट? So evolutionists, diffusionists and historians regard stage of civilization which is marked by complexities, heterogeneities and certainties. Ogburn and Nimcoff. Ogburn and Nimcoff they say that civilization is the later phase of superorganic culture. Organic culture. According to Brooke Adams, civilization is highly developed organization. जितने याद रह जाएं उतना अच्छा है, राइट? इसीलिए इतना दे रहा हूं, 1 2 3 जितना भी याद रह जाए, बिकॉज नॉर्मल डेफिनेशन आपको पता है डिफरेंसेस. गिलिन एंड गिलिन. John Lewis Gillen and John Philip Gillen. हाँ. Civilization is more complex and evolved form of culture. right? So what are the differences? According to McIver and Pace, write down now some differences. Number one, civilization has a precise standard of measurement. According to McIver and Page, civilization has precise standard of measurement but not culture. Okay. Second, civilization is always advancing. Civilization is always advancing but not culture, right? Civilization is passed on without effort, है ना, आराम से पास ऑन किया जा सकता है, बट नॉट कल्चर, कल्चर को पास ऑन करना मुश्किल है, टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. द वर्क ऑफ सिविलाइजेशन कैन बी इम्प्रूव्ड बाय एनीबॉडी, राइट? किसी ने पंखा बना दिया, कंप्यूटर नया बना दिया, बट इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल इन केस ऑफ कल्चर. वहां पे बहुत लोगों का एफर्ट लगेगा, टाइम लगेगा, राइट? नेक्स्ट इज civilization is external and mechanical while culture is internal and organic. Next, civilization is borrowed without change or loss but not culture. Okay, so in one sense you can say that civilization is material aspect and culture is as expression of mode of living, thinking, everyday life, art, literature, recreation, enjoyment, etc. Right? The last question is, what are the bases? Base क्या है social stratification का? Social stratification is division of society in some hierarchical ways, right? Hierarchical manner में डिवीजन करना सोसाइटी का, वो सोशल स्ट्रेटिफिकेशन है, राइट? और उसके बेस क्या हो सकते हैं? जेंडर, नंबर वन, जेंडर के बेस पे दो जेंडर हैं, मेल फीमेल, है ना? स्ट्रेटिफाइड है, पैट्रियार्की तो यही कहती है कि मेल सुपीरियर है और फीमेल जो है सबऑर्डिनेट है ना? रेस एंड इथनिसिटी, वाइट रेसेस आर सुपीरियर टू colored races, right? Then class, upper class and lower class. Estate system that you study in French Revolution you might have studied, right? Caste, upper caste and lower caste, right? High born and low born, right? Master slave relationship, that is also a form of social stratification, right? You can divide according to Weber. Social stratification can be done on the basis of class, status and power. Class means economic, right? Status means कि किस status का है, highest caste status, तो caste का example दे सकते हो. And power can be economic power can be of expertise or power can be of religion, knowledge, right? So these are our questions for day 22. मुझे लगता है समझ आ गया होगा काफी कुछ, right? Okay then, thank you, take care, bye bye.